welcome back to my channel. This video is definitely very long overdue, but I wanted to do a little recap of our engagement party. I talked about this a little bit in our original engagement video, but we wanted to do an engagement party just so we can have all of our friends and family together, especially those who weren't able to go to the engagement itself, and just kind of celebrate us, celebrate what's to come, and just have everyone together for a good time. So we had our party at the end of June. It was June 21st, and we had it at Joe T. Garcia's over in Fort Worth. If you're from Fort Worth or just know the restaurant, you know how iconic it is, and it was just so much fun to have it there. We were able to do it on the mariachi patio outside, and so it was absolutely beautiful outside. We booked it probably around the end of April, I think it was, like mid to end of April, so it was quite a bit in advance. And honestly, if you're planning a party there, I would do it a lot more in advance just because our options as to where exactly we can have it at the restaurant were limited, and so we just actually got really lucky with the space that we ended up getting. Also, side note, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, so if I sound a little bit sick or congested, that's why. But everyone we worked with at Joe T's was super nice. From the start when we were booking with them, everyone was great at responding. We heard back from them right away. When it was time to select our food choices and our beverage choices, everyone was so easy to work with, so easy to get a hold of, and I could not recommend them more. Wait staff during the party itself was excellent, and they just did such a great job overall. So our party was about 50 to 60 people. I think it ended up being like 57 or something like that. We planned for just a little bit over 60, so that was pretty much what we were expecting. And we were so glad that we had so many friends and family come into town. A lot of friends were already here, but all of my family doesn't really live here. And so I was really glad that a lot of them were able to come in town, and Caesar's family was able to be here, especially a couple of those who were out of town, or who do live out of town rather, were able to come in. So it's really nice to be able to spend it with them and kind of celebrate with them. We got food and drinks for everyone. Everyone had a really good margarita. I had a few pina coladas, and we got beef fajitas for everyone, some queso, some churros. The food was delicious. So since we did have a lot of family come in town, I kind of wanted to make it more of a weekend thing. So it's not like people are paying to fly or taking the time to drive over into the DFW area just for us to see them for a few hours during the party when we're still preoccupied entertaining everyone else and just talking with everyone else. So what we decided to do is host a dinner over at our apartment on Friday night and kind of a little brunch breakfast on Sunday before everyone left. The party itself was on Saturday night, so it kind of worked out to make it more of a weekend event. So on Friday when people were getting here, our doors were open. I literally had a sign on our apartment door that was like, just come on in, come visit us. So when people were kind of getting in, people just came over, chit-chatted for a little bit. It was very come and go. And then on Friday night, we ended up getting Chick-fil-A catered. Caesar's parents brought over some extra tables and chairs. We do live in an apartment, but we do have our own little private backyard that we use for the dogs, but we kind of cleaned up that area, set up some more tables out there so people were able to sit outside, set up some tables inside, moved our furniture around. And we're actually able to fit probably like 20-30 people in here, which was so nice. And like I said, we got Chick-fil-A catered. We went and bought some chips and some drinks at the store earlier. Got some more drinks for everyone, some beer, some wine. And so it's just nice to have that extra time with people, welcome them into Dallas if they hadn't been before, if they hadn't been for a while, and just to spend extra time with those family and friends. And then on Sunday, I wanted to throw kind of like a thank you breakfast. All we did is get mimosas and pastries, just like little box pastries that we bought from Target, nothing super fancy. Similar to Friday, it was just another little event to where we can spend more time with people, thank them again for making the trip over here, and just have one final goodbye with them before they leave. A lot less people were able to make it on Sunday just because of flights and having to drive and things like that. But it was still nice just to get extra time with those people. And then a lot of my mom's side of the family ended up not leaving until Monday, so we were able to have pretty much the rest of Sunday to kind of hang out. We were playing cards, playing games, just kind of chilling out over at the apartment. It's really nice because where we live, there's a lot of hotels and restaurants in walking distance, and so a lot of friends and family ended up staying super close to us. So it was very easy for them to just kind of run back and forth from their hotels. I don't think anyone stayed further than 10 minutes from us, which was amazing. Even though I have a phenomenal wedding planner that I cannot wait to work with more for the actual wedding, since the engagement party was here in Fort Worth in the DFW area, I kind of just did everything myself since our wedding planner is based in El Paso, which is where our wedding is going to be. So it was definitely a lot to do. I don't even know how brides plan their entire wedding all by themselves with no help, because just the engagement party was a lot. But honestly, I'm so type A and I love planning, especially event planning. So I did have a lot of fun, but it was a lot sometimes. So we picked that date, June 21st, because my sister was planning a trip into the country around that time, and so I really wanted to have it work out to where she'd be able to come to Dallas and obviously be there for the party itself. I'm very close to my sister, so obviously I wanted her there. If you don't know, she lives in London. So planning things where she has to attend is a little bit trickier than if she still lived in Austin and she could just easily make the drive up. But she was able to come down, we were able to make it work perfectly, and I was so happy that she was there. And that was the main reason why we picked June 21st. Other than that, there was really no significance to that. I was originally planning it for the end of July, but I think it just worked better falling where it did. I think the only tricky thing about it was people either already had summer plans or were trying to plan a vacation or a trip somewhere. So just keeping that in mind, I think I still sent the invitation around the end of April, I believe, just to give people plenty of time to have our party on the calendar and kind of work around it if possible, just to give them as much as a heads up as possible. For the invitation, I just did an Evite. It was super easy. I had never used Invite personally before, or at least to the point where I was the one setting the invitation, but they had lots of options for invitation designs that I loved. If I wanted to, I could have even uploaded my own design, but I ended up just picking one that they had and customizing it a lot. That was one thing that I did really like about it, was how customizable that it was. I think I paid maybe $30 for the design that I used, which I feel like was a pretty good price compared to having a physical invitation that I would print out and send. And it was also such a great way to keep up with RSVPs. I was able to sort everything, send reminders to those who hadn't responded or said no or said yes or whatever I wanted to do. I was able to send messages to certain people. And then afterwards, it was really nice because they offer an option to where attendees can upload their own pictures to Evite and then everyone can see them. So I was able to see the pictures that other people took at the party as well afterwards. So like I said, I pretty much did every single little thing for this party, including the decor, which I am pretty proud of myself, if I may say so myself. I think it turned out so beautiful. The only thing that Joe T's provided were the tablecloths, but everything else was completely in my hands. I got to pick the color of the tablecloths and the napkins from Joe T's, but other than that, everything was all me. I ended up doing a coral tablecloth. I think it was like a coral peachy color, and then white napkins, just because I wanted it to be very summery, and that was also the color of the florals I chose. I really wanted to do fresh florals. I just feel like fresh florals always look so much nicer and they smell amazing, and it was just such a nice touch that I was able to do myself. I took a floral design class in high school, so I was kind of counting on my abilities from that class way back when to make all the florals for the party. I ended up just bulk ordering flowers from Costco, which honestly, if you're doing your own florals for anything, is such a great option. I was looking at so many different places to bulk order flowers or even just order flowers individually, kind of comparing prices if I would have just gone to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or another store like that and just buying the individual flowers. But I found that Costco was the easiest and had one of the best prices for the amount of flowers that I was gonna get. And with Costco, when you're ordering flowers, you don't actually need a Costco membership, but I will say if you do have a membership, you will get a discount. Or I don't know if it's necessarily a discount, but there is an upcharge if you're not a member. So I guess it depends on the way you look at it. So for the flowers, I ordered white carnations. They were like a peachy orange rose and pink. I feel like I'm gonna butcher this, but it was alstromerias, I believe you say it. And then a mixture of some greens. And I used those to create centerpieces for all the tables. I think we had 8 tables. But what I was super proud of is I had a floral arch with our sign in the middle, and I think it turned out so perfect. I was actually very, very proud of my work, like I keep saying. I think it just turned out so nice. It was a little tricky trying to figure out how to get the floral foam to stay on the arch, just because it does get so heavy once it is submerged in water. We submerged it in water overnight so the floral blocks could completely absorb everything that it can and keep all the flowers fresh. I think we built the arch with the florals on Thursday and we needed it by Saturday, and we had absolutely no issues with the flowers falling off or getting dry or wilting or anything like that. Like, they actually lasted quite a few weeks. I think it was like a couple weeks after the party. But I think our major issue was just those foam blocks being so heavy that they started sliding down the arch. And my fiance's dad, I think, just drilled a nail into the arch and did some things with some zip ties to keep it up there. But you really couldn't tell, and at the end of the day, it was so stunning. The arch was definitely the center of attention in terms of decor items at the party. Like I said, it had the flowers on it, and then we hung our sign in the middle. I just bought the arch itself off of Amazon, and we just used some ribbon to tie the sign on there. For the sign itself, I bought the design off of Etsy. I think it was $5 maybe. And then I just edited the design in Canva just to include our names and the date to make it customized to obviously us and our party. When we printed it, I looked at several options. I looked at Walmart, I looked at Walgreens, I looked at some other options online. We ended up going through Prints of Love. I think I found a coupon for it, and they did such a phenomenal job. It was very timely when we ordered it, and there was absolutely no issues when printing it either. For the party, I was originally planning on doing a seating chart. That didn't end up happening just because there was a little mess up with the tables, completely my fault. But we didn't end up using the seating chart, but I did order another foam poster similar to what we did use for the art sign. It was just a little bit smaller, that had the table numbers and the names of everyone. That was also printed through Prints of Love, and once again, they did a great job. It was super clear. There was no issues with that whatsoever. We just didn't end up using the sign. For the seating chart on that, I created that entire thing using Canva. Watching this video, you're gonna figure out that I love Canva, and I pretty much do everything on Canva. I made the actual chart itself on Canva, and then what I was planning on doing is having little name cards with everyone's name and their designated spots around each table. And then I also created table numbers that, once again, we didn't end up using, just for seating chart purposes, that had the number of each table so people can quickly look at the chart, see where their names were, and then go find the table number. At least that was the plan. And it was really nice just creating all that in Canva because I was able to use the same fonts, the same floral design, and just kind of keep everything together as much as possible. Another little piece of decor that I got were just little candle holders to have little tea candles on the table. I feel like, especially since our party was at night and it got a little darker, just a little tea candle kind of elevates the space, makes it a little cozier, makes it a little nicer. So I ordered these gold tea candle holders off of Amazon, and just a bunch of little tea candles. They were great. I think I ordered some that were supposed to last 6 hours, and I had no issues with the candles at all. And I felt like it really just brought the space all together on the tables themselves. I did double check with Joe Tees to make sure that we were able to have little tea candles like that. If you're planning on doing something with little candles or something with an open flame, definitely double check with your venue to make sure that's allowed, because I know not everyone allows that. Like, there was a lot of other things that Joe Tees didn't allow. We couldn't have any type of confetti. We couldn't have any balloons. We weren't able to hang up anything or tape anything to any of the structures. So I definitely recommend looking into what you can and cannot do when throwing a party, or even just when you're planning your wedding. Another thing that we included on all of the tables at all of the seats were little fans. We ordered these off of Amazon, but they had our names on it and the date. I actually have one right here. I don't know if it's focusing, but you can see that it has our name and our date, and then it had this beautiful little floral design, so everyone got these at their seat. I wanted to do these fans because our party was outside in Texas in the middle of June. It wasn't during the day, it was at nighttime, but especially at the beginning before the sun went down, it was definitely a little warm. Thankfully, Joe Tees put a huge fan in our little space, so it was really able to keep everyone cool, and there were smaller fans all throughout. But I still think these little fans were greatly appreciated, and now it's so nice because we do have a couple of extras like this one that we can just use as a keepsake. And it also kind of doubled as a little thank you gift for everyone that showed. We did have another official thank you gift for everyone who came. What we did is we got little shot glasses, and we got a customized sticker with our name and our engagement party date on it. And then we got custom M&Ms and put the little package of M&Ms into the shot glass. If you don't know, you can order custom M&Ms on M&Ms.com, and you can add a picture to them, you can add a little graphic, you can add words, little sayings, and you can pick your M&M colors. I think we did orange and yellow for our colors, and on the M&Ms itself, we did a little picture of a ring, we did a little picture of me and Caesar, we had our names, and we had our engagement party date. It was super, super cool. We were able to order them in little individual packages that were able to stick into the shot glasses really easily. Everyone was super impressed and thought it was really cool that we had custom M&Ms. And I feel like now it's got to be our go-to for whenever we do thank you gifts for anything. And then for the shot glasses themselves, we just ordered a bulk order of plain shot glasses off of Amazon and stuck a little sticker on it. For the stickers, I did the actual design on Canva and then uploaded that design to a sticker order that I was also able to place on Amazon. I was able to just get custom stickers through Amazon, so it was super easy. I think we got 150 of them. We put them on all the shot glasses, we put them on little M&M bags, and it was the same design as the seating chart and the seating chart names if we had actually used those. So this is what it looked like all put together. Here's the shot glass itself. As you can see, it just had our little names on it. It said our engagement party and then our engagement party date with the little floral design that I was telling you guys about. And then this is what the M&M package looked like. And then we just put the sticker on here as well. If you can kind of see on here, like there's some that had our date, our names. Here's a better one that has our little picture, and then it says congrats with a little ring. And like I said, I just kind of folded this bag and stuck it inside the shot glass like this, and this was our little thank you gifts. And I was sure to get the sticker in a waterproof version. So if you're considering stealing this idea, make sure that the sticker is waterproof for when people wash the shot glasses or even just use shot glasses. You don't want the sticker to get ruined. But these were also really nice because it wasn't anything big. When people were leaving, I could easily just grab a couple and hand them out. It's not like people had to walk out with a little bag or anything else. Super tiny, you can just throw it in your purse. Another thing we did at our engagement party was have a little Polaroid book. This is such an amazing keepsake that I'm so glad that we did. It wasn't even originally my idea. My dad's girlfriend offered to get this for us, and I thought it was such an amazing idea, and now I love having this keepsake. She ordered this off of Etsy, and you were able to customize the size, the color, the font that the words are in, and then the color of the words. So it just says Caesar and Lexi's engagement with our engagement party date. The first page just says the same thing. But then I brought my Polaroid camera. We bought extra film so everyone could take a picture. Everyone was able to take a couple Polaroids home, but then also add their Polaroids into the book like this and then write their own little message. So everyone just took a picture of themselves and stuck it in here. The book came with little stickers to stick on the Polaroids, so you're able to throw it in there really easily. I also set up a little trash pail right next to it so we didn't have trash flying everywhere. And I brought some little pens so then people could write their little messages. And this book filled up pretty quickly, which I'm super happy about. It was such an amazing keepsake, such an amazing way to remember the night. And we were very surprised to see that actually every single person who was there ended up taking at least one Polaroid and putting it in the book, writing a little message, which meant so much to us that people took the time to do that. And now I just love looking at it. It was also a nice way to kind of give people something to do. Not that they'd be bored, but it was something that they can go check out, take a picture, write their little message, tell everyone else to go do this. So just like another little activity for them to do. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about was, of course, my outfit. I absolutely loved the dress I wore for it. I was on the hunt forever to find the perfect dress. I definitely wanted a midi dress, but I didn't want anything too casual or anything super nice, and I also wanted something super summery to kind of tie into the floral theme that I was going for the party. I found my dress on Lulu's and I was instantly in love. So here's the dress itself. I wanted to bring it up so I can show you guys the details of it. If you follow me on TikTok, then you kind of already saw the details of it, but if not, I'll show you guys. So it has this beautiful floral design on it with this gorgeous beading. It's strapless. I haven't washed it yet because I think you need to dry clean it, and I just don't go to the dry cleaners that often. So it is still a little bit dirty just from the party, but the beading has little pearls on it as well, which I thought were so stunning. This is tulle, so it has like a layer of tulle over it. And then it has this slit on the side. It was just so perfect, so gorgeous, so summery. I did end up having to size down when I first ordered it, so just keep that in mind if you're trying on dresses or interested in this one from Lulu's. I'm not sure if you can really tell, but this top part is also a corset, just a little bit on the side. Like it has that boning right here on the sides to help keep it up. And if you are a little bit sensitive with sequins or kind of like scratchier material, not that this was scratchy at all, but it does kind of go up a little bit right here and around the armpit. So if you are a little sensitive with that, just kind of beware that it does have that on this dress. But I was so in love. I think it was the perfect dress for this occasion. Such a beautiful bridal look. and I will definitely wear this again whenever I can. Like I said, it is a midi dress, so it wasn't completely full length, but I think it hit me perfectly. I'm 5'4", and this was in an extra small. Like I said, I originally ordered it in a small, but it was a little bit too big for my preference, so I did just size down, and the extra small fit me perfectly. I just cannot love this dress more. Here's just one final look at all of the sparkly and all of the details and the tulle, just so stunning. Shoes, however, was a little bit trickier. I originally ordered these shoes off of Amazon, and these were the ones that I did end up ordering. It is a block heel, like a round block heel, and this is kind of like that memory foam material, which I really liked. And I don't think it was that noticeable. I think this was just me overthinking it. If you watch my TikTok, you're gonna know what I'm gonna say. But when you compare it to the dress itself, I don't even know if it's gonna pick up in this lighting, but the shoe is a lot more yellow than this white of the dress is. Like, this dress is pretty white. And even though the shoe looks white, the pearls itself are actually kind of yellowish. And when they were on together, it definitely brought out the yellow in the shoe. So I was kind of turned off about that. That's when I found these shoes at Target. These are a little kitten heel. Once again, it kind of has that memory foam, and these pearls are a lot wider than the other ones. And I literally did not know what shoe I was gonna wear until people started walking in, and I was like, oh crap, I need to put heels on. Because while we were decorating, I just had little sandals on. But when I first saw these, I loved them. Like I said, I was so conflicted as to which shoe I was gonna wear because there was pros and cons with both of them. But I thought these were such a gorgeous bridal shoe in general, and I know I'm gonna find some other occasion to wear these. And neither of them were super expensive. Like I said, the other ones were from Amazon and these were from Target, so it's not like they were Jimmy Choos or something insane. So like I said, they're both so beautiful, and I know I'm gonna find another occasion to wear these shoes because they are so stunning. And one of the main reasons why I chose to wear the other ones was because it was outside and the floor was kind of cobblestone, and so I just felt more comfortable walking in a block heel on cobblestone than these little kitten heels. I didn't want to take a tumble or anything like that, especially in front of everyone in my beautiful white dress. That's pretty much it on my engagement party recap. I am so grateful that we're able to have this party and celebrate our engagement and our love, and obviously our upcoming wedding with all of our family and friends. We're so grateful to have each and every one of them in our lives and be able to celebrate with them. At one point, I literally started tearing up because I was just so happy. I was so grateful that every single one of my bridesmaids were able to make it to the party as well. Not all of them live in DFW. In fact, only 2 of them do. So that was the first time that they were all together, and I just felt so much love, so much gratitude, and just so much excitement for what's to come. It was such a great weekend, such a great party. I couldn't have asked for it to go any better than it did, with maybe the exception of actually using the seating chart, but that really does not matter. That's not the important part. What's important was that we were able to celebrate with all of our family and friends and just feel the love from everyone. And I truly just cannot express how much gratitude I felt from that weekend and from everyone going forward. We're super excited to have everyone there at the wedding with us and just to continue to celebrate. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you've made it to this part of the video, thank you for listening to me yap about my party. But I truly love just sharing this part of my life with you guys and sharing this journey with you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.